So basically there's a group of us that are coming down here to trace a book. Louis L'Amour is kind of a favorite for most of us, and one of his books that I don't think of as a standard Louis L'Amour book is Haunted Mesa, which took place more in modern times and is more of a sci-fi book, for lack of a better term. Kind of the idea that there's a veil that you can see through at certain places in the world, and he explored that in the book and took place down this area not too far from us. And Bill Tillery said, why don't we go see that? You know, it's an actual place. There's actually stuff down there that he describes in the book that we can go see, and so that's where we're headed. A group of us are on our way to Haunted Mesa, so to speak, to see what we can see and enjoy time out. It's been kind of long summer and long spring for everybody locked down, so now we're just making it happen. We were going to do this in the spring and had to reschedule, and weather's gotten nice again. Altogether there's four rigs and 5 people, and we got another friend coming in later tonight because he heard about it and it's his favorite book, and so he's on his way, and it's about time to hit the dirt, so here we go. What's the word?
Pretty sweet view, Coney. Come around that thing and saw Monitor
Yep.
Mesa right there. So there's a strip. I told Matt there's a couple campsites down there if he wants to go look. Ken and I are just gonna set up here, and there may be a place to camp like right across the street here.
Okay.
Further down the road, or farther down the road, is where you can get a view off the south end over to No Man's and the other stuff.
As has been said, this is kind of a pilgrimage to see Haunted Mesa stuff. Choices today are to try and actually go to where the Hocart house was. There appears to be a road there. We don't know. It might be just a lot of driving, stopping and going and scouting and trying to get there.
Yeah, some of the places he found, that Louis L'Amour found, are so remote. I mean, imagine how hard it was to even know they existed in the days before the internet. And some of these places are very remote, and this is, pretty remote area even today. We're down, so there's the airstrip. So we're actually looking right across there. Yeah, we came out just to take a look at it and see the way that beloved author of ours, Louis L'Amour, uses terrain as a character, an equal character in his books. Probably one of the reasons I'm standing here today is because of that. Just because I grew up in the East, and we didn't have these kinds of places, and so they only existed in fiction, and then you'd go and look at them online or wherever later as we were older. But I always wanted to come see this. And when I first experienced the desert, I just wanted to keep coming back to the desert and the mountains. And so, yeah, there's a little bit of the reason I'm standing here today is because of the stuff I read from the time I was small.
For a second.
If anybody's copying it, it looks like
both of those
All right, so we're going to air down a little bit here. The sand is getting pretty soft, and the idea is to let enough pressure out to widen the track, lower the pounds per square inch of pressure on the sand, and you know, try to float over it rather than dig down into it. Just a technique to continue moving forward without getting stuck. So this particular setup allows me to air all 4 down at the same time. Then I can air up all 4 at the same time. Don't need to do it that way, of course. Just 1 at a time is fine. Just a little bit on how heavy your rig is and what size tires you have, and if you have bead locks to keep the tires on the rim no matter what. In this case, probably maybe 12, 15 pounds. You can go a lot lower if you want, especially with bead locks. You go down to 3 pounds or 6, but I don't think we're going to need that. It's not that soft, I hope.
So you generally want to go below 20 to really make a difference.
And this sets the, see how it's got a collar and a lock collar? So once you get it to 20, screw that on, screw this in until it starts letting air out, back off slightly, and then lock it. If I really thought I had to air down, I didn't have onboard air. If I had to do it to get out to the highway to save myself, I'd go ahead and do it. If I didn't, I'd just turn around.
Wheels to the left or right, you just don't want to peel the tire off the wheel. That's more of the danger, I think.
Good copy. Yeah, I'm not wanting to lose momentum, but don't want to be hitting anything too hard. Because that's one of the places he talks about is like down in the bottom of Johnny's hole, there's a spring and whatnot. So that's basin of water during part of the year. Both those are. Woo! Yeah.
That is amazing.
I'll let people with more coordination walk closer to that.
Some decent sized critters walking down in there. You know, critters, if they can, there's a way they'll do it. But I don't see anything down there headed up this way. Mm-mm. And those that were going up there were going up for water.
Yeah.
I guess the other choice would be to rappel down in from somewhere up here and walk out the bottom. A range of those up.
That does have the advantage of downhill the whole way, yes. Who's jumping, man? I'm going for it. What's the worst that could happen?
If we cut kind of straight this way, we'll get back to the rigs.
It's all cool country.
Now there's a walk at the end of this, right?
There is about, yeah.
He meant to say.
I mean, it just, if you want to,
Stop
you know,
short
like
with
where
this
do I
ball.
want to walk to
Nice.
the edge to look
We're
kind
like,
of like
"Whoa, dude."
where we parked and walked at Johnny's.
Sure.
Be similar. Yeah, not like a huge hike, I don't think.
A jaunt.
A jaunt.
A jaunt. So I'll pack more for a jaunt.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, it's not going to be
It's
hot.
like
this morning,
yesterday.
so.
Water bottle in your hand, maybe. Camera.
You might just have to like move to a different area if you want to take a picture of that mesa or
Okay.
that one.
Well, let's go find out what we're looking at.
You can see, and I don't know what all, I had a big map at one time, but you can see some of the features out in the Navajo Res because it's a pretty open view.
Morning.
Good morning. You gonna be base camp commander again?
I'll be base camp commander again. I'm gonna brew up some coffee here. You know, I can. I guess they're wanting to see the sunrise down there,
Yeah.
but I think the sunrise right here is pretty good too. So.
The other one, see what it looks like you can, or we can walk from here. I'm not sure where the best spot's gonna be.
I'll head down the other one.
So since I was a young kid, I've been a huge Louis L'Amour fan, and I've read pretty much all the books he wrote before he died, and collected them all, had them all. And one that he wrote in 1987 was The Haunted Mesa. And it was one of the few books that he placed in what were then current times. And it was kind of a mystery science fiction Western. It was a weird combination of stuff. A little beyond his historical fiction and Western type writing. So it was placed in this area, basically across to here is where many of the action took place. So this was kind of a big deal to come back and actually see it, because Louis was really known for going to the places where he wrote his stories. Like if he mentioned a place or something, he had been there and knew about it. It was not something that he conjured up from his imagination. And it's kind of fascinating to think about a guy going to so many places in the West and having so much detail about what they were like. This was a pretty rugged trip to get back here. It's not some place you would just casually hike into. So just the idea of him coming back here and getting the ideas for a story is pretty amazing. And us coming back here to actually see these areas and try and figure out some of the landmarks that he wrote about has been really exciting and a lot of fun. It's kind of a Louis L'Amour pilgrimage, I would say, more than just a camping trip for the weekend.